online legal fund in support of Daniel Penny reaches $2 million. The law firm managing the fundraiser said any funds left over will be donated to a mental health advocacy program in New York City. Personally, I think it should go to Daniel Penny so he can buy himself a nice car. But the story is by Hannah Claire Brimelow, who's sitting right here. So what happened?
Oh, hey. So I actually feel like we should throw you into this. But as we all know, Daniel Penny surrendered to New York law enforcement on Friday. He was released on a $100,000 bond. And his law firm set up this Give, Send, Go, which has surpassed $2 million. I think on Saturday or Sunday night, it was $1 million. It just keeps ramping up. Since I wrote this story, it was at like $2,080,000 when I wrote this, and it's 2.3 now. So he has generated a lot of support from people, some notable figures, including Vivek Ramaswamy. He gave $10,000. Kid Rock, who said that he does not like Alvin Bragg, gave $5,000. And our very own Tim Pool gave $20,000. So.
Yeah. I felt bad. I
also messaged him and asked for a comment, and he said, nah. So I guess he
Did I say nah?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
We have a really professional relationship.
I woke up this morning and I was reading more news about Daniel Penny, and I was looking at these pictures. And I was saying all last week, like, this guy should not go to jail. This is a good person who was doing the right thing. And I had, like, Nuance Bro tweeted at me. He was like, bro, you went to New York and DC and Austin recently, and you're telling people not to go to cities. And I was like, yes, I've talked all about this. And then I started thinking about it. And I started, someone made the argument that they can't leave the city because they were divorced. And if they leave, it means abandoning their kids to what's going on. And if they stay, they can be there for their kids. And I was like, that's a really good point, actually. Mm-hmm. Not everybody can just leave. And it's not because of difficulty. It's because of legal restrictions. And so I thought about that. I'm like, if somebody gets a divorce, their kids are stuck in the city, leaving would be the worst possible thing they could do. And that means staying in the fire is basically someone huddling over their children to protect them from the flames. I can respect that. So I need to rethink this. And then I thought about a few other things. For one, I do feel bad being the only person not stepping up to help a guy who did the right thing. And that was like the most obvious thing. So then I'm like, I should probably just donate to this guy. Like, it's not about anything outside of anything else. Let's just keep it to the one individual dude who did the right thing and probably needs our help.
Yeah.
Simply put. But then I thought, when I was looking at it, and I was like, you know, I saw Vivek gave 10 grand. I saw some anonymous donors gave a bunch of money. And I was like, if I had just donated last week, I probably could have justified, I'll throw a guy a couple grand. But now, considering I spent the past week being like, nah, I'm not a guy, well, you know, humbug. I'm not, I better make it something big. I was thinking about, you know, what I could give. So I said $20,000. And I kind of thought that there are many more people who could do more than that. And I often complain about how rich people aren't doing enough to win the culture war.
Name names, Tim.
About who should be giving more money.
Yeah, why not?
Phil's got some ideas about who could be giving more
Paging
money.
Mr. Boring. Mr. Jeremy Boring. Tim Pool has raised the challenge. And
no,
you know,
I didn't say anything about the Daily
Wire. We have so many of your candy bars here, and we've been promoting. Mr. Boring, please help this young man. You are a wealthy individual.
Like that's
all
Phil.
Challenge.
That is Phil Abonte.
But I did say this morning, I challenge anybody who can to give more than I did, because I know they can. There's a few other things to consider. It's not, first and foremost, I'm like, this guy shouldn't go to prison. It's unfortunate Jordan Neely lost his life. I'm sad about this. I know the guy had criminal convictions. I know he'd been arrested and he's been accused of really bad things. But I also, you know, I don't want people to lose their lives, especially if they're homeless, hungry, and they're unwell. The left has taken the stance that Jordan Neely was unwell, therefore he didn't deserve to die. And I'm kind of like, I don't care if you're well or unwell. If you attack people, threaten people, and he did. Witnesses said he was issuing death threats.
Yeah.
And you don't deserve to die, but someone's got to stop you from hurting people. So ultimately what I'll say is this. It's not just about Daniel Penny, but first and foremost it is. But after that, it's about winning in the cities. I thought about, if we don't win the right to self-defense in the cities, it comes to our doorstep next. So let's keep it over there. The next thing I thought was, if we do win, much like Anheuser-Busch, it negates the effort from the left in their pressure campaign. With the left going out rioting and smashing things up and fighting with cops, let's send a message that their protests mean nothing, and this man will not face a minute behind bars because we will win.
Yeah.
I'm just to pop in here. I think the fundraiser is pretty indicative of how the rest of the country feels. His fundraiser is over $2 million. And I think Jordan Neely's, I don't know, whatever contribution setup that he did, but I think it only raised about 100,000, 200,000. So very glad that Daniel Penny's has gone over 2 million. It's showing where the pulse of the country is right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
one of the comments that I saw on it when I wrote the story this morning was someone saying, "I live in New York. I'm a Democrat. I'm not a Christian, but I had some very terrifying interactions with Jordan Neely, and Daniel Penny does not deserve this."